The Red Room.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Attack Wrap here on Rogers TV. It's our second show of the season as we get set for the Ontario Hockey League season in 2012-2013 with your Owen Sound Attack. Rico Zorzati and yours truly, Manny Pava, in studio tonight for a special edition of Attack Wrap because our guest tonight is none other than the general manager.
We were general managers, yourself, me and Brad Terry were general managers last year. Now the actual general manager of the Owen Sound Attack, Dale DeGray, is here. And
last week. Yeah, we played GM last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you can ask those questions and get into his mind and, you know, why he made these moves, why he drafted these players, why, you know, what do you think he needs to do? All that good stuff.
I'm looking forward to the start of the OHL season. There was that brisk air today,
and it was wet.
It was wet, but it felt like hockey weather.
Yes, it
just
did.
about. And so that gets us excited for the start of the OHL season and for the Owen Sound Attack. They will start on the road Thursday night in Windsor in your old stomping grounds.
Yep, they'll take on the Windsor Spitfires Thursday night at the WFCU Center. Hearing a lot about their first round pick, that Josh Hosang youngster. It looks like he's already up to speed with the players that have been on the team. And, you know, you look at players that got drafted, not as many as the Attack players did this year, but, you know, the Brady Vales, the Michael Clarks, they should be a competitive team this year.
And, of course, Kirby Reichel put up 41 goals last year. So can he repeat that performance? And this is third season in the OHL. And we'll see how the Windsor Spitfires will do in that tough West Division, but more so Owen Sound is worried about them in the Western Conference. And then the Attack will return home this Saturday to face the Saginaw Spirit in their home opener, and that should be a lot of fun.
That's one of those teams where, you know, you hear about the coach, and Greg Gilbert, what a job he did last year, taking over that team partway through the season. You know, an incredible record. He gets the Coach of the Year, and it looks like that's another team that's going to be reckoned with in the West as well.
Very good coach. Got Saginaw turned around after Todd Watson was let go in the middle of last season. And Saginaw, one of those teams that some people feel may push Owen Sound and may push Guelph for that fourth and fifth spot in the Western Conference overall when it's all said and done come the middle of March when the regular season comes to an end. I'm looking forward to the home opener because there's always something special in the air at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center in that home opener.
The one thing, if the weather cooperates and it's supposed to stay cool, what I've been here, this will be, I believe, season number 7 for me watching the Owen Sound Attack. When it's warmer outside, people tend to stay away. So hopefully we get weather like we've had today for the rest of the week into Saturday where people feel like going to see a hockey game, and we need to pack the Bayshore.
Yeah, I would love to see a packed house at the Bayshore. In fact, you can stop by earlier. There's a tailgate party at the Bayshore starting at 5:30 in support of the United Way. So you can make a donation, enjoy some barbecue, hamburgers, and hot dogs before you actually watch the players who hit the ice. And there's a lot of excitement about those players that will return in an Owen Sound Attack uniform. Who are you looking forward to see?
I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be wearing the C and who's going to be wearing the A's. One of the leaders without leaders, Mike Halmo, he's graduated in the New York Islanders organization, and there was talk last year who's going to take the reins when Garrett Wilson graduated to the Florida Panthers organization. Mike Halmo, a justifiable choice. We'll see who's going to be the captain this year. That's what I'm wondering to see.
I'm looking forward to seeing who fills Mike Halmo's shoes with regards to his point production. 85 points, 40 goals, and he was a tough guy to play against if you were an opposing player in the Ontario Hockey League. But I'm looking forward to seeing some of the younger guys. How does a Gilbert Gabor adapt? A Jaden Lindo adapt to the Ontario Hockey League? There's a lot of excitement with regards to a Jacob Middleton on the blue line and how he will play. Plus, Curtis McDermott, basically a rookie. He's going to get a full-time shot with this Owen Sound team quickly. And good news, too, because he just signed a 3-year entry-level deal with the LA Kings.
And he's filled in quite nicely. I remember watching him before he got drafted by the Attack and when he got drafted by the Attack for the Junior B Grays. And, you know, we saw him last year. He was long and lanky, a little bit taller than his brother Lane. And, you know, I saw him in an exhibition game against the Barrie Colts, and I was like, who is that number 23? Lane McDermott, and he's over 200 pounds, so he's filled in quite nicely.
He does look like Lane now, right?
Yeah.
Curtis McDermott, he looks really, really good. In fact, he made quite a jump at the beginning of last season with regards to his body weight and his physique, and he's even made more of a remarkable jump this year as well. We're looking forward to seeing him. Who are you looking forward to seeing? 371-3053, the number to call to be a part of today's show. And maybe you have some questions for the general manager of the Owen Sound Attack, Dale DeGray, who will be in studio tonight to take your questions as well. We'll get an update on Arturs Gavras. It doesn't look like he will be in the lineup this week, as he is not back yet, working out those visa papers, and we'll get an update from the GM about that.
Well, there's a lot of forwards, as we saw last week, so he might be one of those guys, along with Jared Maidens, that the team holds that spot for, and no rush. And when he gets here, he'll get here.
I kind of think Gavras will get here a lot sooner than Jared Maidens will get in the lineup, that's for sure. But a couple of other bodies, and we'll see how Greg Ireland juggles the lines. Looking forward to seeing Drew Bannister as well, the new assistant coach for the Owen Sound Attack, and now he works the defenseman.
And in addition to Drew Bannister, we also see Daniel Tkachuk behind the bench, so it'll be 3 guys behind the bench this year compared to 2 last year.
Let's take a look at those lineups for the Owen Sound Attack. This is what we sort of had penciled into the lineup for the Owen Sound Attack as they get set to start the season. There are your 2 goaltenders, really no question about who the goaltenders will be. On defense, you'll see that there's still 8 players on defense. There you see the acquisition of Charletti as well with Kevin Cutting. Those don't necessarily will be the pairings of the defensemen, but those are the defensemen on the blue line. And when we take a look at the forwards, we've got Kyle Hope, former defenseman, penciled in the forward spot as well.
And what can you say about his heroics last year? Kyle Hope, he's one of those guys that whatever the coach asks him to do, he's going to do, and looks like the organization has asked him to start the season at forward, and he'll be on that top line with Catanacci and Brace. Look at that speed on that top line.
We'll wait and see how those bodies will play out this season as well. Remember, there's about 5 lines there, not including the name of Jared Maidens as well. So our guest coming up after the break, Dale DeGray, he will try to explain the situation for the Owen Sound Attack. He'll talk about what he saw in the preseason, and what he expects for this team coming into the OHL. Before we talk to Dale DeGray, we'll have a special feature on the Stanley Cup coming up next when we return to Attack Wrap on Rogers TV.